From Hollywood, it's time now for John Lund as
Johnny Dollar.
This is Orrin Vance. Sent me up to Osnick 7 years ago, remember?
Orrin Vance. Oh, the Zeman case?
Now you got it. No, Della, I thought a lot about coming out and killing you. Instead, I'm going to do you a favor.
What's on your mind, Vance?
I did all my time, and people don't like to hire ex-cons. I think maybe you and I can work out something.
I haven't got any jobs, Vance.
Not asking for a job.
It sounds like double talk to me. I don't think you...
Don't you give me any routine, Dell. I've heard them all. You can help me and make yourself some money. It's legitimate. What do you say?
I don't know what it's all about.
Suppose I come over and tell you.
Okay. I'll be waiting for you.
John Lund in a transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to All States Insurance Company, Wilmington, Delaware. Attention, Mr. Don Freed, Chief Investigator. Since your office authorized me to conduct certain inquiries based on information supplied by Orrin Vance, I am billing you accordingly. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Baltimore matter. Expense account item 1, $295. A phone call to prisoner dismissal board at Sing Sing Prison, where I was informed that Orrin Vance had been released 3 days before the above date. He had completed 7 years of a 7 to 15-year term for grand theft. It was an unparoled release. The chaplain described him as a model prisoner with a better-than-average chance of remaining out of prison for the rest of his life. For that reason, I was willing to listen to his story when he showed up an hour later.
Hello, Dollar. You haven't changed a bit.
Come on in, Vance.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Ah, nice place you get.
I like it. Sit down. Tell me what's on your mind.
Dollar, look. Don't treat me like a con, even if I am one, huh? I'll sit down, I'll have a smoke with you, I'll talk with you. Forget the other part for a while, will you, please?
Okay. Have one?
Thanks. Just that everybody's doing that. Even my wife. Went over to see her the first day I got out. You know what?
What?
Katie wouldn't let me in the house. Gave me $40, told me to go out and get a decent job. She had it all worked out. Work hard, she said. 6 months, if everything's okay and you're not in any trouble, you can come home to me and the kids. If not, she said, I'm going to divorce you.
What do you want me to say?
I want you to offer me a seat. Invite me to sit down.
Sure.
Thanks again. You know, thought about it a lot. You hadn't been out to get me 7 years ago. I'd have had you over for dinner. Maybe we would have been friends.
Maybe.
Look, I can't get a job, and I'll have to go in business for myself. I need a stake. That's why I'm here to see you. I talked to you maybe 20 times while you were working on that Zeman case, and I think I got to know you. I called you today because of what I saw of you then. I think you're an honest man.
Thanks.
You ever hear the Towner case in Baltimore?
Towner Loan Company in 1946?
Yeah.
Everybody's heard about that. $1 million theft.
The insurance companies still have a reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction.
Was never solved. I suppose they do.
I can help you help them solve it for half of that reward.
Can you?
I know 2 of the men who did it. 2 of the 6 men. I talked to one of them yesterday. I'll tell you who they are, where you can pick them up, but I want my name out of the picture. Can you fix that?
Yeah, probably. I have to talk to the police sooner or later.
Oh, look, this is a good thing, Dollar. And all I'm asking is your promise to keep my name out of it.
Tell me how good before I make any promises.
That's fair enough. They had some of the serial numbers on part of the take. Here. This is one of the bills. Why don't you check it with them? Then we'll take it from here.
Expense account item 2, $14.85. A long-distance phone call to Chief Investigator Don Freed, All States Insurance. who verified that the serial numbers on the $10 bill Orrin Vance handed me tied in with the Towner Loan Company theft. I explained the information I had at hand and the source from which it had come, leaving out any mention of names. Freed talked with his boss and phoned me back half an hour later, giving me the go-ahead. Okay, Vance. You're in business.
All right, how does it work?
You tell me who they are, I'll handle it from here.
I mean the money part.
When we have something, you'll get paid for it. All I've had so far is talk. This bill could have come from anywhere. You might have picked it up at a cigar counter.
Look, I got it from a man named Leonard Torpy. He lives in New York. He's one of them.
Leonard Torpy?
Yeah. I met him my second year at Ossining. He was up on an old petty theft charge. He did 18 months. Told me to look him up when I got out. Now, this part may sound crazy, but we had a few drinks together in his place yesterday. I was weeping on his shoulder about all my hard luck, and he said, "You think you got hard luck?" Well, then he marched me into the bedroom, showed me a stack of money in a bureau drawer. He said he couldn't spend it. He gave me one of the bills. Well,
must have been pretty drunk out.
Yeah, it was. I got to thinking about it. I checked the bill, found out it was in the Towner thing. I looked up the story on it. Torpy fits the description of one of the hold-up men right down the line.
Now, we'll see. You say you know two of them. Who's the other one?
Harold King. Lives in Reno, Nevada now. Runs a filling station there. He used to come see Torpy on visiting days. I saw him several times.
What makes you think he had a part in the Towner thing?
Just from what Torpy said while he was drunk and the general description of the other hold-up men in the story. See, while Torpy was drunk, he mentioned his old partner, Harry King. Told me where he was living and so forth.
Did he say anything about the hold-up?
No. I told you I found that part for myself. But King is the other man, I'm sure of it.
King have a record?
I don't know anything about him.
Okay. Where'll you be?
I'll phone you. 2 days be long enough?
Oh, I should know something by then.
Remember, my name's out of it. The police or anybody else.
Sure. You afraid?
Yeah. I'm a stool pigeon. Well, haven't you noticed?
I'd noticed, and it worried me. So I followed him when he left my place. I was buying a package of cigarettes at the corner drugstore while he boarded the streetcar for downtown. I tagged along in a taxi to the main business section, watched him get off, and head for the bus terminal. I bought another package of cigarettes while he bought a one-way ticket to New York. In the half hour before departure time, I telephoned a private detective friend of mine, Pete Florian. He appeared at the bus terminal 15 minutes later.
What's the rumble, Johnny?
That man over there in the gray overcoat. His name's Orrin Vance.
Uh-huh.
He's on his way to New York right now. Maybe you better tag along, see that nobody kills him.
Oh?
If what he told me is true, somebody might try to do just that. Stay close till he's settled somewhere.
I see.
I haven't got any more to tell you, Pete, because I'm just starting to look into it. Find out where he's living there and contact me at this number. I'll let you know what to do then.
All right. Anything else?
Don't let him out of your sight, Pete. Expense account item 3, $100. Retainer for Private Detective Pete Florian for explained purposes. I stayed at the bus terminal long enough to watch Pete board the New York-bound bus and take a seat across the aisle from Orrin Vance. Item 4, $8.85, plane fare, Hartford to New York. Item 5, $4.50, cab fare to hotel and then to Metropolitan Police Station, where I explained my business to Lieutenant Randall.
Who gave you this tip, Dollar?
I'm afraid I can't tell you that, Lieutenant.
Why not?
Because I promised not to disclose any names. I can tell you that the source is a man who couldn't possibly have had anything to do with the case, since he was in prison at the time of the holdup.
Mm-hmm. But you want me to stick my neck out and get up a search warrant and maybe take this bird Torpy into custody on your say-so.
Well, you have plenty to start with that $10 bill. Should be enough for you to look into it.
That why you looked into it?
Frankly, yes. Prima facie evidence.
But no name.
No name. I've told you all there is to know. Believe me.
Let's get busy.
The mug folder on Leonard Torpy showed a balding 40-year-old man with a long record of theft and burglary. There was no record for a Harold King, although he was listed as an associate of Torpy's. Lieutenant Randall wired Reno authorities requesting they locate King and hold him for possible questioning. Once these preliminaries were accomplished, Randall and I went out to the address Orrin Vance had given me. But this turned up a blank. The landlady informed us that Mr. Torpy had lived there, but had checked out the preceding morning. No forwarding address. The good lieutenant and I parted company outside the apartment house, and I walked back to my hotel. I was going to change clothes and grab some dinner, but the clerk waved me over to the house phone. A call had just come in. Johnny Dollar.
Hi, Pete Florian, Johnny.
How'd it go?
When your boy got in town, I trailed him to a place on 155th Street. He's got a room with a view. He's up there now.
Alone?
Think so?
Any visitors?
No. Light went out about an hour ago. Might be sleeping.
What's the number?
680. His room's in the back, first floor, number 10.
Where are you?
Drugstore right across the street.
Expense account item 6, 160. Cab fare to the drugstore where Pete Florian was keeping a watchful eye on my nervous informer, Orrin Vance. I found the drugstore, but Pete was nowhere in sight. The girl behind the soda fountain recognized him by my description and said he'd stepped out a few minutes before. I glanced up and down the block and then spotted him standing just outside the shadow of a streetlight across the street. I walked over.
Hi, Johnny. That's the room back there.
Lights on?
He's got a couple of visitors in there with him. Showed up about 5 minutes ago.
Car?
Taxi.
What they look like?
One's thin, medium-sized, dark suit. The other's stocky, dark suit, too. Both in their early 40s. Chopin wears glasses. Didn't make either one.
Yeah. This one of them?
Let me see. Yeah, he's in there. What's his name?
Leonard Torpy. We better go in.
Okay. Right back there.
Yeah.
Who's Leonard Torpy?
That's somebody who might want to kill Vance.
Wish I knew more about what this is all about, Johnny.
Yeah, so do I. It's all talk so far.
I see.
Better cover me. Come over there.
Okay.
Mr. Vance?
Who?
Orrin Vance?
You must have the wrong number, buddy. Nobody by that name lives here.
Well, are you sure?
Positive. Why don't you try the manager?
I did. He said Mr. Vance had this room.
And he's all wet. Good night.
Just a minute, Torpy.
What? Hey, Johnny, look out!
Before I went down, I heard it go off a couple of more times. Must have been 6 inches from my head. My eyes couldn't see and my feet wouldn't move. But I could hear. It was someone very close to me. And he was dying.
Johnny. Johnny. Johnny.
We'll return to yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment. Sign up. Enroll now. Join the 7 million strong who buy United States defense bonds through the payroll savings plan where they work. The bonds you buy help keep America strong. And now, Series E bonds earn more. They give you a quicker return on your investment. Through the payroll savings plan, you'll save the sure way, before you spend. So sign up. Invest more in United States defense bonds. Now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
I won't talk about my operation. But I had one at the police emergency hospital. As a matter of fact, I had 2. They prodded a .38 slug out of my neck and another one out of my shoulder. It was 48 hours before I was allowed to sit up in bed and talk. Naturally enough, my first visitor was Lieutenant Randall. He looked haggard, tired, worried.
You say you hired this Pete Florian?
Yeah, to keep an eye on Orrin Vance.
This your tipster?
It's okay to tell it now, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, thanks. Florian died right there in the hall. 4 slugs hit her. Vance is on the floor beneath you, still hanging on. You keeping track of all this?
What about Torpy? Did you get him?
We didn't, but Florian did. Torpy's in the morgue. The other man got away. Quite a night.
Yeah.
Look, Dollar. You're the only one who can give me the story now. Vance isn't able to talk and won't be for another 3 days, if then. Everybody else is dead or gone. Now, what happened there?
I don't know. I didn't see anything, Lieutenant. I was trying to push into the room past Torpy, and the whole world caved in. Any line on the man who was with Torpy?
Good descriptions, but no luck so far. He heisted a car outside Vance's place. Found it 2 hours later, no prints on it. Some blood. He might have one of Florian's slugs in him.
Yeah.
We gotta land that bird. Hey, you all right?
I felt awful. And Lieutenant Randall left me alone for the rest of the day. At 3:30 the following day, Orrin Vance regained consciousness long enough to relate what had happened. I was wheelchaired down to his bedside. Statement enclosed.
That was Harry King with Torpy. King flew here 3 days ago from Reno. He came to my place to find out what I'd done with the $10 bill Torpy gave me when he was drunk. I told him I spent it, but they didn't believe me. It was King who shot me. I've got reward money coming. I'm not gonna die.
He was still hanging on 2 days later when I left the hospital. Expense account item 7, $14. Ambulance ride. From emergency hospital to my hotel. The doctors told me to take it easy for a month and I'd be all right. I had a phone call a half hour after I started to take it easy. Johnny Dollar.
Are you interested in finding Harry King?
Who's this?
My name's Milva King. I'm Harry's wife.
Oh,
You want him or don't you?
sure.
I'm at Shiraz Restaurant on 42nd off Broadway. Can you meet me?
Yeah. How'll I know you?
You won't, but I'll know you. Your picture's been in the paper for the last 3 days. Hello, Mr. Dollar.
Mrs. King?
Yes. Hey, you look pretty weak.
I feel that way.
Maybe we better sit down.
The small, pretty brunette woman in the nice clothes looked like anything but the wife of a bank bandit and murderer. She looked more like a housewife on a shopping tour or a schoolteacher on a New York vacation. I listened while she cleared up some questions I had in mind.
There's a reward posted, isn't there, for that holdup in Baltimore?
$10,000, yeah.
Will I get it if I turn Harry over to the police?
Sure.
How much?
Half?
Oh, that isn't much for giving up your husband.
They'll get him sooner or later, Mrs. King. The other half spoken for.
Oh, this Vance man?
Yes.
Wait, I'm just trying to figure. What about you?
I'll pass it up.
$5,000 for Harry.
Providing he was tied in with the Baltimore holdup. That's what the insurance company's interested in.
He was in it all right. I want to get something else straight. What happens to me?
What do you mean?
I'm his wife. I only had a part in that holdup for the last 6 months. I haven't said anything. Does that make me a party to it or something?
Well, you could have informed, but you couldn't have testified, being his wife.
If I'm arraigned, I don't want to spend all the money hiring lawyers to keep me out of jail.
My company will cover that. Where's Harry?
Oh, not yet.
What now?
I better get something in writing from you. Something that says your insurance company will pay me the reward and give me help if I get in any trouble.
All right, I'll talk to him.
This time I'm thinking of the future. I'm going to have one once this is over.
I hope so, Mrs. King.
I know so, Mr. Dollar.
Did Harry have money he couldn't spend, too?
$45,000.
Where is it?
I can give you that when I give you Harry.
Well, you thought of everything.
I tried to. Harry and that Torpy man were fools. All they ever got out of it was the marked bills. Worthless money.
You don't happen to know who the other 4 men were, do you?
No. I suppose that's what you'll ask Harry when you get him.
That's the idea.
Poor Harry. How long will it take you to get things arranged?
Not more than an hour. I can do it by phone.
I'll call you.
Okay. I gave her a 50-second start before I left the table and went out in the street. I was just in time to see her climb into a cab. I was trying to hail one to follow her when a black coupe pulled up to the curb.
Come on, Johnny.
Hey.
Hustle it up. Light will change. Wow. How do you feel?
Terrible. What is this?
When Vance told us it was King, we checked the airlines and found out he had his wife with him when he flew in from Reno. That is Mrs. King up there in that cab, isn't it?
That's who she said she was.
She wants to sell you her husband for part of that reward, doesn't she?
Yep.
Well, what's the delay?
She wants to make sure she'll be handled all right. The money and all.
So did Vance.
Don't needle me, Randall.
I don't mean to. This all figures. I thought she might try to get in touch with you for just that reason.
I don't get it.
Well, that's why I put a man on your hotel. He followed you when you came to meet her today, then he phoned me. We looked her up. Her name was Melba Thaler before she married King. Her old man had a lot of money in Minnesota, but she couldn't keep herself out of trouble and got disinherited. Money's always been her problem.
It's everybody's problem.
Not the way it is with her. Now King's worth a lot of dough to her if you pay off. He's no good to her now lying somewhere with a slug in him, and he hasn't been any good to her with the marked money he got in the Towner holdup.
There's something else, Randall.
What?
She's stalling me, I think. She said she didn't know who they were. But if she was lying and she does know who the others were in that Towner holdup, King would be worth even more money. They'd want him dead instead of with the police talking his head off.
That's right.
We followed Melba King's taxi for better than 45 minutes, all the way through the Holland Tunnel and into Jersey. She finally left it at a train station in Bucks County. We watched her buy a magazine and sit down in the waiting room and begin to read it. 15 minutes later, she stepped into the phone booth. When she came out, I went over to the filling station phone to see if she'd phoned my hotel.
Well?
She wasn't trying to get me.
Well, that settles it. She's contacted the others. She's going to sell to you or them, whoever pays most for him.
Some operator, isn't she?
Well, when you have time, look at the file we picked up on her. 16 arrests. 1 conviction for narcotics when she was 18. Well, we'll see what we will see.
Didn't take long. When a green Cadillac pulled up at the station, Melba King stepped out on the platform and greeted the 2 men who were in it. She sat in the car with them, talked for a short time, then got back out. When the Cadillac rolled away, Lieutenant Randall was on the radio ordering a pickup.
Yale, 596. I'll pick him up right away. We'll stay with her.
When Melba King caught another taxi, we were right behind her. She took it to an auto court about a mile from the station. We saw her go into the cabin marked D. Randall radioed in our location. We were about to check the auto court office when the door to cabin D opened. Standing beside Melba King in the doorway of the cottage was a pale, stocky man who looked as though his legs wouldn't support him another minute. Then she saw us get out of the car.
He'll kill me. He's got a gun on me. Don't do anything. Please don't do anything.
That's right. Anybody gets in my way.
You're hurt, King. You can't go far.
I've come this far, and I'm still going to keep moving. Come on, baby, move.
It was all ready for her when she got back.
Yeah.
Boys know I shoot. You especially. But you'll be dead now, Dollar.
That's funny. I thought the same thing about you, King.
Please don't do anything. Please.
Shut up.
Oh,
King, listen to reason. I can tell you're hurt bad. You need help.
Why don't you give it up?
How much were you going to give her for me, Dollar?
I wasn't...
How much? Tell me.
Half of it.
no. Please, Harry.
And how much will Woody and Al want to give?
I didn't talk to
Oh,
you.
yes, you did. I passed out this morning. You got real busy. How much, baby?
Oh, no.
You're dying on your feet, King.
Yeah. Well, that's a good place to die. On your feet. Maybe I won't make it. We'll still. This is gonna hurt.
No. Harry, please. No!
Yell if you want to.
King, don't add another one to the...
How is he? John. That's him, too. Let's get this over with.
Expense account, item 8, same as item 2, transportation back to Hartford. Item 9, $85, doctor bills. Item 10, miscellaneous, $48 while in New York. Expense account total, $294.60. Remarks. As you know, the 2 men Melva King contacted were also part of the 6 who had held up the Towner Loan Company. They made a full confession and named the other parties involved. As far as the reward money goes, I think Orrin Vance deserves his $5,000. And I think Pete Florian's widow deserves my $5,000. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
From Hollywood, it's time now for John Lund as
Johnny Dollar.
My name is DeFranco, Mr. Dollar. I'm with the Claims Division of Eastern Life and Trust.
What can I do for you, Mr. DeFranco?
Help me pay off a claim, I hope.
Well, that's a new wrinkle.
Yeah, one of our new policyholders passed away last month. We can't seem to locate his beneficiary.
Well, maybe he doesn't want the money.
It's a she. Everybody wants money, especially insurance money. Would you like to take a whack at it?
What floor are you on, Mr. DeFranco?
4th, 418. Just after you get off the elevator, turn to your left.
Be there in an hour.
John Lund in a transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. 2 Claims Office, Eastern Life and Trust Company, this city. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Thelma Ibsen matter. Expense account item 1, 15 cents, bus fare from my apartment to Milton DeFranco's office, where we got right down to business.
The deceased was a man named John Lund. He made his living selling papers in front of the Metropolitan Building.
Oh, on 3rd Street?
Yes. Did you ever see him?
Yeah, I guess I have. Somehow you never think of someone like that leaving insurance money.
No, you don't. But he took out 2 policies November the 5th, 1940, both of them $500 life.
Uh-huh.
So he has an estate of $1,000 that we have to give to a person named Thelma Ibsen.
His daughter or something?
No relation at all, just someone who stopped and talked to him one day.
She must have had quite a line.
Yeah, you'd think so, but I doubt it. He was only 10 years old at the time.
Oh.
I got all this from the agent who wrote up the policy. Used to buy his papers from old John. One day he told the agent he wanted to take out some life insurance so he could do something nice for a little girl he'd met that afternoon. And that's it.
Well, quite a profitable meeting for her, huh?
Yeah. Of course, $1,000 isn't a lot of money these days. But from him, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Thelma Ibsen must be 23 or 4 by now. I'd like to see her face when she gets that insurance check and finds out who it's from and why. Might prove something about something.
Yeah, it could, or maybe she isn't doing nice things for people anymore.
Let's hope she is. I keep thinking that old man out there hustling papers every day to make his $1.52 in premiums every week. It gets me somehow.
Huh?
He only saw her that one day in his life.
The local address for Thelma Ibsen was 213 Brainbridge. From neighbors, I learned that Thelma's parents had been killed in an automobile accident in 1945. She'd moved cross town to live with an aunt, a Mrs. Mary Seeley. Mrs. Seeley died in 1950. Again, Thelma had moved. Where, nobody seemed to know. But they did know where she'd been working at the time. One of the girls there was brought into the manager's office.
Yes. She quit without notice a couple of years ago. She just didn't come back.
Were you a friend of hers?
Yes. We were good friends. Used to have lunch together every day. We started here together, too.
I see. Have you heard from her?
No.
Any idea where she might have gone?
New York, I think. It's the closest place to go, isn't it?
Funny she didn't write anybody or say anything when she left, don't you think?
Yes, but Thelma was like that.
Like what?
Well, don't misunderstand me. She was a real sweet girl, but there was something you could tell about her right away when you met her. She had plans of her own, and she just kept them to herself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't suppose anything's happened to her.
I'm just trying to locate her. Did she ever talk about going to New York?
No.
Or what did she talk about?
Oh, about meeting someone and getting married.
Was she going with anyone when she disappeared?
Oh, a couple people around the office.
Are they still around?
I think so. You going to talk to them?
I'd like to.
They haven't heard from her either. No one has. She just plain left, bag and baggage.
At the apartment hotel where she'd been living since her aunt's death, I learned that Thelma Ibsen had suddenly checked out with all of her belongings around Christmas of 1950. No forwarding address. The hospital, jail, and morgue records for the previous 2 years were covered. Nothing came up. A high school annual provided a fairly good picture of a tall, smiling girl with a pleasant face looking out from under a miter cap. The Motor Vehicle Bureau recorded a driver's license issued in her name. A right thumb and forefinger print came with it. The picture, the prints, and all available information went into a file. Thelma Ibsen became a missing person. Two days later, the people at her office were re-questioned. And then one of them recalled a man that she had been seen with just before her disappearance. Expense account item 2, $15. Transportation and incidentals, Hartford to New York. For the purpose of locating a Mr. Floyd Turnbull for possible information concerning Thelma Ibsen's whereabouts. I made a list of the Floyd Turnbulls in the city directory and set out to interview each one. The right man happened to be number 5 on my list.
Yes, of course I know Thelma Ibsen, Mr. Dollar. You say you're from an insurance company?
That's right, Mr. Turnbull. Can you tell me where she is right now?
I'm afraid I can't. Sit down, Mr. Dollar. Sit down.
Thanks. Understand you knew her in Hartford.
That's right, I did. She came here to New York with me.
Oh?
Let me assure you, there was nothing improper about it. I met Thelma when she was working in one of the offices I do business with there. And when I suggested that she drive to New York with me, I did it with the understanding that we were to be married here.
I see.
No one could have been more surprised than I when she disappeared.
You mean here in New York?
Yes.
Well, when was this?
It was Christmas Eve of 1950.
Oh.
Thelma was staying with my sister Edna in Westchester. I picked her up about 6 in the evening to go to a party. And we stopped for gasoline somewhere between here and Long Island. I left the car for a moment, and when I came back, she was gone.
And you haven't seen her since?
And I haven't seen her since.
Well, did she leave a note in the car? Or a message of some kind?
Nothing. Not a word.
And she hasn't gotten in touch with you at all?
No.
She's never written?
Never.
I can't quite get with this. You were going to be married, and she disappeared in a filling station on Christmas Eve. Did you argue or something?
No. I don't think I would ever have argued with Thelma. She was kind and sweet and gentle, and all things to me. Your appearance here and these questions bring back the memory very strongly.
How long had you known her before you decided to get married?
About 3 weeks.
Do you have any idea why she walked away?
Yes, but I doubt if it's of any practical value to you.
Well, any information I can get would be very helpful in locating her, Mr. Turnbull.
All right, then. I think she was frightened.
Of what?
Of life, Mr. Dollar. Not people or circumstance, but life.
You say that with a lot of conviction.
Yes. Thelma had always been, well, a poor girl. She worked instead of going to college. She lived with a rather dowdy aunt who died just before I met her. Her parents had been killed in an accident a few years before. I think I offered her happiness that she always longed for. But she simply wasn't mature enough or adjusted well enough to accept it. But this is of no value, is it?
Well, it might be. Did you know of any ambition she had? Maybe she wanted to go on the stage.
She simply wanted to be my wife and live here. Oh, I can see what you're thinking. I'm old enough to be her father, but that's not the reason she walked away from that car. Believe me, Mr. Dollar, unless I'm terribly mistaken, that girl was very much in love with me and wanted to marry me.
Tell me, have you tried to find her?
No, I have not. I waited around the filling station that night hoping she'd return, but I didn't report the matter to the police. I intended to hire private detectives to locate her, but I gave that up, too.
Well, I don't understand. If you loved her...
Well, would this make it understandable, Mr. Dollar? Thelma was a rational, normal human being when I left her in that car. No one forced her away from it or me. The man at the station said she merely stepped out and disappeared down the street. She left of her own free will for her own reasons.
Yeah, I think I can see your point.
Thank you, Mr. Dollar. I've hoped that one day she'd appear at my door, contact me, come to me, but she hasn't. Is there any way I can help you more concretely?
Well, if you could tell me the exact location of that filling station.
I believe I can do that, but why?
Last place she was seen alive.
Oh, that word, alive.
Just a word, Mr. Turnbull. Tell me, you suppose she had any money when she left?
Why do you ask?
Well, she'd have had to go to work if she didn't. Maybe she
I see. Yes, she had money, quite a bit.
How much?
$2,300.
Oh?
She stole it from me, Mr. Dollar. I left my wallet in my overcoat. She took it while I was gone. I would have given her all this, everything, but she had to steal it from me. She had to steal it like a common little thief. There's truly no fool like an old fool, is there, Mr. Dollar?
When I left Turnbull, it struck me. Here was the second elderly man in Thelma Ibsen's life. One had given her money which she wasn't around to receive, and from this one she'd taken money and didn't wait around to say thanks. Expense account item 3, $50.50. Car rental and incidentals involved in checking Floyd Turnbull's story. A major oil company owned and operated the filling station where Thelma Ibsen had been seen last. Their payroll records named 3 attendants on duty, Christmas Eve, 1950. I located and interviewed all 3. Enclosed fine statement of Earl Camden.
Sure, I remember that chick. Better look in this picture, I'll tell you that. Well, anyways, she drove in with the old guy, see? He hadn't been away from the car more than 20 seconds before she was out and walking down the street as fast as she could go. Well, when he came back and asked what happened to her, I told him. Well, and he went back and sat in his car for maybe a couple of hours just waiting for her. I knew she was gone for good. I felt sorry for the old geezer. She shouldn't have run out like that. Christmas Eve and all.
Edna Turnbull Spencer, Westchester, verified her brother's story. Thelma Ibsen had left all of her clothes at the house. Mrs. Spencer had not heard a word from her since Christmas Eve of 1950. The matter went to the New York Police Missing Persons Bureau. A check on the morgue and hospital records was unsuccessful. However, the police fingerprint files turned up an interesting lead.
Misdemeanor, drunk, disturbing the peace. She was fined $25 a night, court, April 25th, 1951.
What's the address?
1212 Yardley.
1212 Yardley. Okay. At the address on Yardley, I learned that Thelma Ibsen had moved 8 months before. Again, there was no forwarding address. The landlady turned out to be quite talkative, however.
I'm glad, too, she moved from here, Mr. Dollar. I'd like to help you find her, but I'm awfully glad she moved from here.
Now, why do you say that, Mrs. Prentice?
Oh, noisy. Parties all the time. I run a quiet place for quiet people, you know.
Yes, I'm sure, but...
I thought she was the quiet type when she took the apartment, or I'd never have given it to her. She told me she was secretary, that she worked downtown.
Did she say where?
Oh, no. And she didn't work. How could she? She was out every night and slept most of the day. And men used to come to see her. Honestly.
Do you know any of them, Mrs. Prentice?
Oh, no. Just men. All kinds, all sorts.
I see. Was she friendly with anybody in the building?
No.
Did she go with any particular man?
I couldn't say. All I can tell you is I'm glad she doesn't live here anymore. I'm awfully glad.
The more people I talked to, the more I learned about Thelma Ibsen, and the less I liked what I heard. I went back to the city hall. It had occurred to me that hardly anyone is ever arrested for being drunk and disturbing the peace alone. I was right. The night court files revealed that Thelma Ibsen had been arrested with 8 other people. I took down their names and began to check them out. Number 6 down the line was a man named Unger, who was in the hosiery business. Yes, he remembered Thelma Ibsen very well. No, he hadn't seen her for 6 months, but he could tell me where she lived. He did, and I went there.
Yes, sir. May I help you?
I'm looking for Miss Thelma Ibsen.
Oh, I'll ring her room. Is she expecting you?
No. My name is Dollar. It's a business matter.
Mr. Dollar.
That's right.
Just a moment. I'm ringing. Well, I don't understand that.
What?
She came in about a half hour ago. I know she's up there.
Well, maybe she came out again.
No, I'd have seen her. I've been at the desk all the time. Well, if that isn't the strangest thing.
Maybe she's visiting one of the other apartments.
Perhaps. Would you like to leave a message, Mr. Dollar?
Well, it'll be okay if I go up and camp on her doorstep. I've been looking for her for a long time now.
Of course.
I took the elevator up to the 15th floor and walked down the hall to Thelma Ibsen's apartment. The door was standing partially open. All the lights seemed to be on. Miss Ibsen? Miss Ibsen? Miss Ibsen?
Go back. Get away from this room.
What?
Get away or I'll jump.
I'd found Thelma Ibsen, only she was standing on a ledge outside the window, all ready for a leap into eternity.
We'll return to yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment. Now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Don't come any closer.
I won't. Thelma.
What?
You'd better come in now. You don't want to do this.
I'm going to do it.
It's cold out there. Don't you think you should come inside?
I'm going to jump. Stay away now. Don't try to grab me.
I'll do anything you say, Thelma. Okay.
I never saw you before. How do you know my name?
I've seen you.
No, you haven't. I remember people. Watch.
Just going to light a cigarette. Do you want one?
No.
Can I have one?
All right. Where did you see me?
In a picture. In your high school annual. You went to high school in Hartford.
I don't know you. What's your name?
Johnny Dollar?
Are you from Hartford?
Yeah.
Step over there. Let me see your face in the light. No. You aren't from Hartford. You're lying to me.
Mr. Dollar, I
Go
wanted
away.
to...
Go away or I'll jump.
Why, Miss Ibsen?
Go on. Get out of here.
Go ahead. Call the police.
Yes, of course, of course.
I heard you tell him to call the police. I don't care. They can't stop me. Nobody can stop me.
Maybe they won't even try, Thelma.
Oh, I know they will. They'll talk to me just the way you're talking. They try to get close enough to grab me. I wanted somebody to call the police. I want them all down there waiting for me to jump. When the crowd's big enough, I'll jump right down there. I'm not afraid to do it.
Why do you want to jump, Thelma?
I have my reasons. Look, there's a couple of people down there who see me. They'd like to see me jump.
I don't think they'd like to see that at all, Thelma.
Oh, yes, they would. They might say they wouldn't, but they'll hang around, and if I don't jump, they'll be disappointed.
Nobody wants you to jump, Thelma.
Oh, sure they do. Those people down there would love to see it happen. You'd like it, too.
If I wanted to see you jump, I'd be waiting on the street with those people. But I don't want to see you do that. And neither do they. I want you to live, Thelma.
That's more people down there now. Oh, they're getting the big lights up here. God.
Thelma, look. If you're broke, if you need money,
Don't come any closer, I told you before.
I want to help you, Thelma.
Nobody wants to help me. Nobody's ever wanted to help me.
You're wrong about that. Floyd Turnbull wanted to help you.
Floyd Turnbull? You met him?
Yes. And he's still very much in love with you.
After I stole money from him and walked out on him?
The money meant nothing to him. He still loves you, Thelma. Thelma?
I don't love him. I never loved him.
He thought so.
He was just nice.
Why did you leave him that way?
I'm no good. Never have been, you know. I've never been any good to anybody.
Would you like to talk to Floyd?
No. I don't want to talk to him or anybody. I know. But after I jump, I want you to tell Floyd something.
Sure.
Tell him I meant to send the money back to him. I didn't think it was that much. Tell him I never was any good at all. That I left him because of that.
All right.
You can tell him I loved him. He'd feel good, I think.
All right.
Go back! I don't care who you are. Go back or I'll jump right now. Wait. Close that hall door. If you want to see me jump, you'll have to watch from the street down there with the others. Close it! Is he a policeman?
I suppose so. I don't know.
He looked foolish.
We all look foolish at one time or another. It passes.
Do I look foolish?
Yes, Thelma, you do. You're not going through with this. In the end, you'll come back into this room, and everybody down there will go home.
That isn't true. You know that for the first time in my life, I know exactly what I want to do, how I want to do it. I'm going to jump.
From what I know about you, I thought you always knew pretty much what you wanted out of life.
I never knew anything. And it's all botched up. I'd be happy one minute and crying the next. Things kept happening all the time. Got so tiresome. When Mom and Daddy died, I should have died, too. Then I wouldn't be here making all those people down there have bad dreams for weeks to come. I should have been with them when they were killed in that car. Well, it won't be long. I won't be tired anymore pretty soon.
Thelma, wait.
Wait for what? You say you've talked to people who've known me, who know what I was and what I am. I didn't turn out the way they wanted me to, did I? I didn't even turn out the way I wanted to be. Look at me. Why should I wait?
One man I didn't talk to had more faith in you than anybody else. He was an old man who sold newspapers in front of the Metropolitan Building. His name was John Lund. Old John. Thelma? Old John?
Old John.
You met him one day when you were a little girl. It meant a lot in his life. An awful lot. You remember old John?
Yes. I was downtown after school, look in the window. I had a nickel and I bought a paper from this old man. I talked to him. He said I was a very nice girl, and he asked me my name and where I lived.
What did you talk about, Thelma?
About school. And about growing up. He told me I'd grow up someday, be a lovely woman. He said, lovely woman. He was very nice.
What else did you talk about?
School. He asked me what grade I was in. Let's see. I guess I was in the 5th grade, or maybe the 6th. It was such a long time ago.
But you remember it.
Of course, I remember it now. Where's John now?
He died a month ago, Thelma. He left you all his money.
What money? What money would that poor old man have?
Insurance money. Comes to $1,000.
You're lying.
No, I'm not, Thelma. That's why I've been looking for you. It's my job to see that you get the money that he left for you. He wanted you to have it.
Why? I didn't know him only that afternoon.
But he wanted to help you.
You're making all this up. It's all a lie.
No. No, look.
What?
These prove I'm from the insurance company. Here.
Throw them over.
All right. You see? He wanted you to have something.
That old man. That poor old man. I only stopped and talked to him.
Expense account item 4, $3.50. Martinis. I needed them. It was my first, and I hope my last, experience with an intended suicide. The psychiatrists who examined and treated Thelma Ibsen believe that she'll make a complete recovery in time. They say it'll take months to determine the exact cause of her breakdown. But as far as we're concerned, the case is closed. Claim filed. Expense account, item 5, same as item 2. Transportation back to Hartford. Total, $84.15. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars John Lund in the title role and is written by E. Jack Newman with music by Eddie Dunstetter. John Lund can currently be seen in the Universal International picture Just Across the Street. Featured in tonight's cast were Tom Tully, Jeanette Nolan, John McIntyre, Joe Kearns, and Virginia Gregg. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle. This is Dan Cubberly inviting you to join us next week at this time when John Lund returns as...
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.